Hey, what's up, guys? It's Alex.
And Kush.
And today we are back and we are doing Run the Jewels 4 by Run the Jewels Review.
This album came out at a very interesting time. Run the Jewels has always been very politically charged, very anti-establishment.
Yep.
They've never shied away from speaking their mind. They have two very different lives, but very similar perspectives on the same issues, which I think has been something that has characterized their music and their sound a lot.
So this is going to be similar to what we did with the After Hours review by the weekend. This will be a track-by-track review since we
care so much about this fucking album.
Since this was probably one of my most anticipated albums.
Yeah. Let's start with the first track, Yankee and the Brave.
Also the first single. Here's my first nitpick.
Oh, wait, first thing. I didn't listen to any of the singles, but I wanted to be completely surprised by this album.
Listen to both the singles. Overall, I when I first listened to the song, it did take a bit to grow. It took a bit to grow on me because of it just wasn't clicking with me the first couple listens. Yeah. But then it was when I listened to the lyrics when it really clicked with me, especially that Mike's second verse, where it's about having I got one round left, 100 cops outside. I can shoot them and put one between my eyes. Chose a ladder, it don't matter, it ain't suicide. And if the pigs say it was, that's a goddamn lie. I can't let no pigs kill me. I got too much pride, and I meant it when I said it. Never take me alive. That was I didn't have that written
Mike
down.
I just heard saying those bars.
Bro, I'm a better rapper. No, I'm a better rapper.
The one thing in the song that I really love is the back and forth between LP and Killer Mike. I think that's their chemistry is unparalleled. I don't know a single rap group, not even like Slaughterhouse, that can. They just match each other so great. Like even when they're ad-libbing for each other, it sounds fun. They're each other's best type. And we saw them live in concert. We know, first of all, they are fucking amazing show performers. Performers is the word. But that carries so well into their songs, and one of the things we talked about is I love imagining Run the Jewels songs live, and this song would be incredible live because of that back and forth, them ad-libbing for each other. I think it would be great.
Also, that build up with the fucking with the heavy drums. Have you noticed the drums to this song sound like Black or the Berry by Kendrick?
I did not.
They sound very similar,
but very brash. You mean like
it's like the same like type of drum.
I didn't notice that, but maybe on my next listen I will.
One thing I thought was interesting about this intro was that it is the first intro since Run the Jewels 1 to have an actual upbeat intro.
Which is surprising because the rest of the album is completely opposite.
No, I think that most of this is
the production on this one is darker than any production. Like, if you listen to the melodies and the synths, they're all dark. I know exactly. It is more upbeat and the tempo is faster. Another line I really liked is from LP, and it's "Immortality's out of bound. It's a one-round ride." I just thought that was really cool.
I fucked with when he said
he has some pretty great gun references.
He said, "Michael, run like you're hungry and get your ass in the ride."
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a great. The outro for the song is also great, and the song overall is great.
I think this is my second favorite Run the Jewels intro, behind Jeopardy.
That's off of the second one.
Yeah, second one.
Second one. That is definitely better than this one.
Because Jeopardy has that build up with
it's a very distinct.
With Killer Mike's verse, and then when it like explodes like the sax and shit, like that's like one of my favorite Run the Jewels songs.
The next song.
Ooh la la.
What were your initial thoughts when you heard it?
I wasn't fucking with the song when I heard it at first.
This was the one that you said I wouldn't like.
I thought you would hate the song.
I fucking loved it.
Because of the hook. Oh,
I fucking it's such a stupid. I gotta say this: the second time they do the hook with those stupid ass ad libs is the funniest. It's so funny.
But I wasn't really fucking with it the first time. But now I fucking love this song.
Oh yeah, this is great.
This might be the most standard rap beat I think they've ever done on an album.
It's very loopy.
And like the piano, like it sounds like it could be on like another rap album. That's not like a criticism. That's just like
no, it gave me an old time vibe kind of with like that old piano, kind of slightly broken piano. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's not that clean piano you would hear like Metro Boomin play.
Yeah.
It's a very clanky real piano, and I really loved it. Super simple, super catchy sample for the hook. It works so well.
Yeah.
I don't know how he fit that. I don't know if he found that hook first and then made the beat, or made the beat and just was like, oh shit, I found this. It works so well.
Yeah, and Mike and LP's back and forth on this song is also great.
I gotta say, I've never heard LP write a beat like on this.
LP writes.
He finds like I never understood what I know people refer to it as like writing the pocket, finding the pockets.
Yeah.
I have never heard him do it so like easily. Like I think Mike is a better Killer Mike is a better rapper. It just sounds so effortless for him. I think LP is not that he's not a good rapper. I think he's one of my favorite rappers. But I feel like it's a lot harder for him to find the same like groove on the beat. Because he has such like an off kilter flow usually. But when LP will find the pocket, he rides that motherfucker so like
well.
For me, the standout on the song was LP, and that's saying a lot because I think Mike's verse is incredible. Mike has it's probably one of his best verses actually.
Yeah.
One thing I will notice, the first half of this album, the first 5 songs, are a very different, or the first 4 songs I want to say, maybe 5, are a very different mood than the last half of this album.
It does. I think it takes a turn.
Not
Sonic wise,
like
I think it takes a turn at like Good News for CT.
Is that the 5th song?
It's the 5th. That's when it gets more. Yeah. That's when it gets like way more dark.
Like I don't know if this was purposely. Maybe I'm just imagining it because I have that idea of it getting darker. But I think the production does get darker.
Actually, the second half of Holy Claim of Fuck's Where it gets dark.
That's a 4th song. So yeah. Oh, the beat switch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, but I think overall it gets dark. The second half is definitely darker.
Yeah.
These are kind of like their old Run the Jewels 2 types of songs. I'd say. Like Run the Jewels 3 was a lot more political, dystopian-ish. Run the Jewels 2 was more like, we're gonna fucking rob you. We're gonna like you know we're bad motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's what the first half sounded like, but this was a great song. Very replayable. Very replayable.
Yeah, this is one of the songs. Now that it's clipped for me, I think I liked it more than I would have if I liked it originally.
The next song,
Out of Sight. That song reminds me a lot of Banana Clipper.
That's actually what I said. I said it reminds me of RTJ. I didn't say Banana Clipper. I just said.
Yeah, it gives me kind of an RTJ1 vibe, and the Banana Clipper just because it's Killer Mike and LP going back and forth for the first 2 turns, and then it has a feature at the end.
Interesting. It's a very short feature.
It is.
It's probably like 12 bars, I'd say. But you can't mention this feature without mentioning the hot dogs and Frank line. I have to buy a hot dog stand if I'm going to be Frank or something like that. Interesting. Only 2 chains, and a few select people can pull out that stupid line.
He's cooler than the AC or some shit like that.
I don't know if it might sound phoned in. I don't think it is phoned in. When you're working with a group, I think he is probably a big fan. There's mutual respect. I don't think he phoned this verse in. I think it's legitimately just he had fun with it.
I think that there
are dark aspects to this short verse.
I think that it is a good verse. I don't think it's a great verse, and I don't think it's because it's phoned in. I think it's honestly because he didn't know how to approach it very well. I just think I think that his flow's off in some places.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah.
Because I don't know if he knows how to approach an LPV. Because this shit right here is weird.
This is one of my favorite beats. I like this a lot.
This is probably one of my least favorite songs on the album. I still really like it.
Mike's flow switch up, awesome.
Yeah, no, Mike goes off on this fucking song.
But once again, you can't talk about it without talking about this great line: "Cuff vegan bitch and feed them dick because they don't eat no steak and lobster." Straight to the point, telling you, you're a vegan, I'm going to cuff you and feed you dick because you don't eat steak and lobster. It's straight to the point.
You're a vegetarian.
Feed me dick. But I'm not a vegan now, because there's a difference between a vegetarian
Your dad's vegan.
That is true. Please do not feed him dick, Killer Mike. I think I'm pretty sure, that sounds like a Mike line. Yeah. No, it sounds like
if it's more blunt, it's a Killer Mike line. If it's some weird shit that makes no sense, but then when you think about it for 5 minutes, and then it's some weird shit, then it's LP.
Like the fucking up line. I love that line. This song is not a song you would have heard on RTJ3, I think. It's a very RTJ1. They're having fun.
This is an
They're
RTJ1
bad
song.
motherfucker. It's as simple as that. That's what I love about Run the Jewels. When they're serious, they're serious. Mm-hmm. But when they're having fun, they're having fun.
And I also love how they always switch it up. Like they'll always have a bunch of songs being fun and have a bunch of songs being serious. And also they make their serious songs fun.
Yeah. But this album, there's probably more back and forth on this album than I think any other albums. There's back and forth on every single song almost. Whether it's in the chorus, whether it's in one of their verses, whether it's them just either talking at the end of the song about some random shit. This album has more back and forth than I think any of their other albums. Even more than RTJ2, I think, which had probably the most. Maybe RTJ3. But I really
it might.
I noticed that when I heard it, because I like it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just, I think it's different. Most artists can't do it, much less most groups can't do it, much less
artists. I think it's a skill that you have to really learn to do with a certain person. Like, that's why a lot of people don't do it, because I think, to go back and forth, especially when you're going and finishing each other's lines and shit, I think that you have to like actually be close. Like Kendrick and J-Rock do it, Eminem and Royce do it.
Well, I was thinking of probably not the other next biggest because they are much bigger, but Jay-Z and Kanye. And I was looking back at their projects, and there are times when they do that. But it's nowhere to this degree. They usually have their own verse.
Yeah, it's more of like a lyrical practice.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that Run the Jewels 3 didn't have it as much, because a lot of the songs on Run the Jewels 3 are more content focused.
Also, part of it is that since their beats are usually faster paced, I think it helps with that pacing. Not just one person. It doesn't get boring. It doesn't stay monotonous. It keeps it fresh. Okay, next song, Holy Calamafuck. I'll say this, my least favorite song on the album.
I'll say that the first half is messy.
But
after that beat switch,
and
it goes crazy.
The build up is insane. Like it never, you know, how, like some build up like in dubstep, it builds up and there's like a huge over the top thing. This one, it was a build up, and then it was like go 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 go.
Like those synths building up at the very end of Mike's verse is so
for both
fire.
of his verses. I think it's more I think it does in both verses.
Does it?
But it's a lot better in the second one because there's a beat switch.
Like the first beat, it's just like, I don't know if it's the beat or the delivery over the beat or both, but I'm just not the biggest fan of it.
Yeah. This one also sounds like an older RTJ song.
Yeah.
I got a different vibe with this song, I think. Just the beat was different and the hook was different.
Yeah.
I did not like the hook that much.
What was the hook for this one?
I don't remember. I remember I wrote down I didn't love it. But I love the synth. I love the production of it. This is probably the worst song out of the first 4 songs of the album. And I think it's the worst song overall. Anything else you want to say about this song?
Nah, but this is also one of my least favorite songs of the album, but I still really like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next song,
Goonies
one of my
vs.
favorite.
E.T. I really like LP's voice when it's pitched down. That song.
Yeah.
It sounds really good.
Another dark beat again.
Yeah.
There's a lot more back and forth.
The 808s on this song are fucking crazy.
Oh yeah. And the hook grew on me a lot for this song.
I fuck with the hook so much. Mike's verse on this song is fucking insane, and his rhyme scheme is crazy when he goes, I wrote this shit down. In the revolution that's televised and digitized, you've been hypnotized and Twitterized by silly guys. Cues to the evening news, make sure you ill-advise, got you celebrating the generators of genocide.
I literally wrote televised revolution line, check mark with Mike.
Exactly, it's fire.
This, used at the second half of the last Calamafuck is where it switches to a darker tone. I agree. This is the first song where the whole vibe is much darker. The things they're talking about are much darker, and this is the second half of the album. In my opinion, the better half of the album by far. Anything else you want to add to this song?
Because you're on next.
I need to apologize. Can I give an apology?
You can't give an apology.
So Killer Boo, I know we've had a troubled.
Oh.
Gangster Boo, I know I've forgotten your name in the past, and I know we've had a rocky relationship.
You've seen her twerk.
I have. Oh my, that was quite something. You know, I didn't love you on Run the Jewels 2. I thought you were
the first person I saw twerk in real life. To be fair, I was.
I think 15. Your mom was for me.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what the fuck I said. I'm sorry. No. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm tired. No, but like I have not been the biggest fan of her. And by that, I've only listened to one song by her, I think. And it was on Run the Jewels 2. I really disliked her part in it. So when Alice told me she was going to be on this, I remember I said, why? I was so pissed off.
I remember I told you, because I was listening to the album first. I was like, bro, uncredited Gangsta Boo feature, heat. I mean,
Gangsta Boo, you might be the best feature on this album. Okay, let me just tell you, when I heard this song for the first time, and I heard LP giving his intro verse, and then in the middle of that fucking verse, Gangsta Boo comes in with that, where just something's only walking in the snow.
And then LP goes, God damn that motherfucker cold. That's just hype.
I do not say this lightly. That was the hardest line ever by Run the Jewels. I will not take that statement back. That was the hardest line. That was harder than LP saying put the kids in the oven. That was the hardest moment. And Gangsta Boo fucking kills her hook, or her uncredited hook. It is so simple, but it's LP outdid himself with the production. LP's been. We're gonna talk about the end probably, but she fits so. I don't know how it sounds so good. It's literally her just saying 2 lines 4 times. It sounds so good. One of the best hooks by Run the Jewels. My favorite song on the album. I think.
I would also like to issue an apology. Because I was worried for this album. Because I was like, this shit might not live up to Run the Jewels 2 and 3. I was worried. And then after George Floyd was murdered.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that, but yeah, go ahead.
LP put a snippet up on Instagram of Walking in the Snow that included these lyrics. They promise education, but really they give you tests and scores, and they predict the prison population by who be scoring the lowest. And usually the lowest scores the poorest, and they look like me. And every day on the evening news, they feed you fear for free. And you so numb, you watch the cops choke out a man like me until my voice goes from a shriek to whisper, I can't breathe. And you sit there in the house on couch and watch it on TV. The most you give a Twitter rant and call it a tragedy, but truly the travesty. You've been robbed of your empathy. Replace it with apathy. Okay, first off, that was what convinced me that this album was going to be fucking amazing. Second off, this might be the best verse I've ever heard Killer Mike spit.
I don't disagree with you.
And also when he ends that shit with never forgetting the story of Jesus, the hero was killed by the state. This verse is fucking amazing. And I'm just going to talk about Killer Mike overall. Killer Mike, this is easily his best performance album-wise on everyone's album. Run the Jewels 4, this is Killer Mike's album. Like, his performance on this is consistently amazing. And I'll go as far as say, this is one of the best rap performances I've ever heard a rapper do throughout an album.
I mean, when I said I disagree, I was going to say that I have an opinion on like who the standout was. I'm not disagreeing that he wasn't amazing. The thing that's first of all, we can't do justice to these lines, especially that verse. The way that he delivered, like there's a difference between lyrics and delivery.
Yeah, the way he delivered that shit was crazy.
It is so like he's not crying obviously, but the way he says it. First of all, he has one of the best voices in hip hop.
Yeah,
and his delivery is so heartfelt. And the thing that really sucks, and the sad part is that he wrote this before the George Floyd thing happened. He wrote this a year ago almost. It was confirmed by LP that they hadn't changed the verse since 2019. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone who's in the U.S. and probably worldwide knows what's happening in the U.S. As two non-black people, I don't think we're the right people to talk about it. We obviously, I think everybody can understand where we stand on it. But when you hear that, I got goosebumps. I don't know if I teared up, but it was heavy. Like I had to pause after that song and like re-listen to this song a couple of times because it is. You told me you got goosebumps when you heard that line. You heard it before. You said I hadn't heard it before. It is so dark, but it is so true, and the way he says it and how he says it is what makes this probably the best. Like you said, the best Killer Mike verse. And I mean, even LP gives a lot of great input from his side. You know, like as a white person who's seeing this happen. Cage line.
When LP says, pseudo-Christians, y'all in different kids in prisons ain't a sin shit. If even one scrap of what Jesus taught connected, you feel different.
Oh, no, that's not even the line I'm talking about. There's a line about the cage. I don't know if it's this song, but the cage they put one person in is the same cage they put you in tomorrow. There's a line about that. And the thing I love about this duo is that...
funny fact about a cage, they're never built for just one group, so when that cage is done with them and you're still poor, it come for you.
Yeah. Like,
LP killed the shit too.
LP never tries to overshadow Killer Mike's point, which I really respect, because I think he understands. Killer Mike, as a person, he's one of the most articulate people, period. As a rapper, he's by far probably the most, I think more than Kendrick. Kendrick is probably more poetic with what he says and everything, but I think no one can, let me take that back. Very few people can deliver a line like that and have its impact be so large. I know we're talking about the song for a long time, but this is, in my opinion, my favorite song.
This is my second favorite song.
You could take away that whole Killer Mike verse and it would still be my favorite song. I don't know why, but this song is hard, but it's also so like I don't know. I like the song a lot.
It's amazing. It's gonna be one of the best.
If you've never listened to Run the Jewels and you need one song to convince you, this is the song. Even if this is just, it's such a relevant song, and part of an album is when it comes out. For most albums it doesn't matter when they come out, but for this one they purposely moved it. They didn't move it, but it coming out now.
2 days early.
Yeah, it coming out now is very significant. And they released it for free.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, just like how I think that Run the Jewels 3 was helped by Trump's election, I do think that Run the Jewels 4 is helped by the current climate going on right now.
Yeah. And they've never shied away from voicing their opinion. They are very, very vocal. Killer Mike had the whole show about this. I mean, he's very active. And I don't know about LP, but this song is kind of what makes everything that makes Run the Jewels so great. Production.
Yeah.
Simplicity, but then hard-hitting lyrics. What is the next song?
Next song is Just.
Oh, second best song on the album.
This probably will be the most replayable song on the album for me. This is my third favorite song on the album.
You know what I love about Pharrell? He has a vibe.
I think out of everything that when the track list, I think there were two things that really caught me out. It was honestly some of the names of some of the tracks.
Oh yeah, you said it's gonna be fire because.
And I said I know Walking in the Snow, Pulling the Pen, and a few words from the Firing Squad are gonna be fire because of the names.
Yeah.
And I was hyped for fucking Pharrell because I fuck with Pharrell so much, and I wanted to see what he would do over in LBB, and he killed the shit. The 808s on this go hard as fuck too.
When Pharrell, there's just like there's a head like a slow head bob with a finger with a little snap
there's
whenever you listen.
There's like a smoothness to it.
He could be talking about eating his own shit and you'd just be doing that little head bob like talk your shit Pharrell. Pharrell fits so good and I don't know how.
Yeah.
The intro for the song
and then
is
the transition from Pharrell to Killer Mike when
so good.
when Killer Mike does the actual hook and the beat drops.
What else? Let's see. LP flows like a mother. Smells like
Mike goes back to the triplet flows, which is always fire, even though it isn't as good as Kill Jill.
Yeah.
Kill Jill is still top 5 bangers of all time.
Yeah.
That song goes so hard.
We gotta talk about the Pharrell in the chorus though. Look at all these slave master posing on your dollar. That's a fucking fire. I have to look that shit. I'm like, is that actually true? Like, is every single dollar U.S. currency have a slave master on it? And yeah, that's true.
Damn.
I never even. Lincoln's not on any. Yeah,
I've never even thought of any of that.
I haven't. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's like when that's just something that I think that like most like people who aren't black wouldn't think about, and also a lot of people who are black people won't think about. But it's like I had to know that with All American Badass by Joey Badass when he was talking about still having the last name of a slave owner. That was the first time I really thought I was like, damn, did they really do?
And that's what I'm saying. This coming out now is so fucking like not that there hasn't this whole issue of police brutality hasn't been going on for years, but. I mean, we're gonna fucking protest. Like, the country is literally partially on fire. But, guys, we're gonna get political. Go fucking donate.
If you don't
Black Lives Matter.
If you don't get your ass out there to actually protest, at least donate money.
And if you're against the Black Lives Matter movement, please stop watching this video. I will say, if all 27 of our subscribers are anti, I could give less of a shit. Yeah. Fuck off, all of you.
Did you notice how Killer Mike did some E40 WO type shit and rhymed his ad-libs on this song?
Yeah, that was interesting. No, see, that's something I noticed when I was looking at the lyrics for the songs. I was like, wait, they all rhyme. This is weird. His slow, the slowdown flow he has, I think in the beginning of his first verse where he's like slowing, like when he's doing the triplet flow.
Yeah.
That I hated that the first time. And I heard it again. I was like, I think Pharrell had such a big influence, it's a very Pharrell type vibe. It's a very Pharrell type beat on this great song. By far, this was not a phoned-in verse at all. I don't think. I think this was one of the best verses on the album and one of the best Run the Jewels features by far. And we can't. There's another feature on this song.
Zach
Chris.
De La Roca.
Oh, that's his name. I think I might have called him Chris. Oh no, I did call him Zach. Whoops.
Zach kills the shit like always.
He just goes hard on it.
I think it's my least favorite Zach feature out of Run the Jewels.
I'm gonna say he's probably the worst on the song.
Yeah.
I love this song. This is probably my second favorite song.
It's
on
my
the
third
album.
favorite song on the album.
So now we're on to the 8th song.
Never Look Back.
There's not much. I just like the song. Like there's not much.
There is one thing. There are two things I am a hoe for in rap beats.
Oh my god. 808s.
Strings.
Oh, there's fucking violin on this bitch.
And vocalization. And those vocals in the beat are so eerie.
Yeah.
I fucking love them so much. Killer Mike's second verse is fire. Never look back, you will only get bitter. If you get bitter, you will never get better. Never get better, then you'll never get bigger. Never get bigger, then you'll never make cheddar.
See,
that's fire.
The thing I wrote is like, Mike sounds great. He sounds suave. I said smooth, suave. And Killer Mike finds a way to be on the line of being very, very knowledgeable and being a little bit preachy. And that part, the one criticism is that part felt a little bit preachy on my first listen. But when I listened to it again, I realize he's not really preaching. Like, what he's saying kind of makes sense. It just, like, work hard, and you'll make money, and you'll be probably happy. I like that.
Well, no, he's saying, don't like regret what you did in your past, because if you're tied down by all these things in your past, then that will prevent you from moving
That's the same
forward.
thing about never look at ghosts, like never look at the past. That's something like on multiple listens. I think I understood that better, and I enjoyed it more. Song number 9, The Ground Below.
This is my least favorite song on the album. I
This
still like it, but
this is my probably second least favorite. It sounds like more like Run the Jewels 1 and 2.
no, it doesn't sound like anything.
The more over the top.
No, but this is the first
bragging.
rap. This is the first rap rock beat they've ever done.
No, I'm talking about like what they're talking about. The flamboyance.
But the reason, it's a Run the Jewels song lyrically. That's why I still like it. But it's just a rap rock beat that I'm not a big fan of. Do you know why that rap? Okay, this song reminds me every time I listen to it of fucking Heat from Revival.
I don't remember that song.
Because of the rap rock beat, and because of the white guy doing a hook with a rock sample in it. It just reminds me of it every single time.
White boy.
That's Untouchable.
Oh, such a bad song.
He is fake tits are better than real ones.
Oh yeah. One of the most iconic
I think they did
things.
a song with Rick Rubin because they were at Rick Rubin's studio. I could see Rick Rubin having a hand in this shit.
I mean, I don't hate the production.
I don't
I
hate
just don't
either.
think they fit that. Like, their thing has always been more like futuristic.
I mean, it's not even that I don't think they fit it. I think that it's just.
I don't think they fit it.
I just think that it's just not what I prefer.
Yeah, especially not on the set. This would have been much better as like the fifth song or the third song before, because the tone of the second half of the album has definitely been darker, and then this comes in. I'm just like, what the fuck? This is just there's not much to the song. It's one of their weaker songs. It's for you. It's definitely one or two, probably the weakest songs.
Yeah,
we both agree on that. It's pretty replayable though. I'll give you that.
I'll listen to it again.
It definitely does not fit near the end of this album. I really I might have liked the song more if it was like the first, second, or third song.
Yeah.
But
like it feels like after
not,
it feels like in between like Out of Sight and Holy.
Yeah, like especially given the dark matter of the songs, 2 songs before this, 3 songs before this. Holy shit! Like this is just like why. But yeah, let's go to the next song, Pulling the Pin.
Pulling the Pin. This song's so fire.
This beat is
everything.
This you know what that like swirling. Like when you listen to like a Travis song, there's some like swirling. It felt like that. It felt distorted. It felt uneasy, and it sounds great.
Killer Mike on this song is so fucking good. Killer Mike is untouchable on this album.
He takes a completely different take on the beat, which I really like. Him and LP take completely different approaches to the beat. I think it was one of the LP's heavier verses.
Yeah, no, I think that this might be my favorite LP verse. It's probably my favorite. No, actually, it's probably my third favorite on the album.
Yeah, I'd say it's not because
I was like, it's my favorite. Down, it's like, oh wait, there's.
It's a very personal, right? From LP's thing, he's talking about his parents, why he has a lot of tendencies like smoking.
I think this might be my second favorite delivery of an LP verse.
Oh yeah, the first one
like sonic-wise, I think this might be my second favorite LP verse.
What's the one I said he fit the ooh la la maybe where he fit the
I think it was that one.
Yeah, it's a very story-like, and then the beat becomes jazzy.
Yeah,
this guitars or string. Oh, that bitch gets nice.
And then that Mavis Staples chick, fire hook.
Yeah, somehow that hook somehow works.
Yeah.
How?
They got like a soul singer who was born like the 1930s.
And it is a very, very good hook. I love this hook. This is one of my favorite hooks.
But here's one thing that will always disappoint me about the song.
Oh god.
When the track listing came out, I saw Staples. I thought it was Vince Staples. And I was hyped. And then I saw it was Mavis Staples. I was like, who the fuck is this? So
to be fair, Vince would not fit.
Vince would not fit. But
he would fit great on a song like The Ground Below. Not The Ground Below.
He would fit on
the earlier songs
like Out of Sight
or Holy Calamity, fuck the first half. But guys, this is a great song. Also, this is probably one of my top 5 songs of the album.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs. This entire album's one of my favorite songs.
Mike, like you said, he was incredible on this song. LP, they both had very story-like approaches. They were both giving narratives about their life. I thought it was great. Let's go to the last song.
A Few Words to the Fire and Thought. This is my favorite song on the album.
Parentheses Radiation. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna call it Radiation. I don't want to say the whole fucking thing.
This was a song I was most hyped for, based off that fucking title.
Oh yeah.
And this is my
Walking
favorite
in the
song.
Snow was the one I was the most hyped about because that just sounds hard as shit.
Like when I say I like this song, I think this might be top 3 Run the Jewels songs for me.
Oh, really?
I fucking.
Oh, so this is your favorite song off the album?
It's my favorite song off the album.
Oh, okay. This is my third favorite, second favorite. Third favorite probably after Just. The build up. Were we talking about this before we started recording about the build up where it builds up, not like a kind of like a dubstep song, but then it doesn't just explode.
With I think it was Holy Clay, Fuck.
Yeah. See, like the build up on this song is incredible, and unlike a dubstep song where it's like it goes into like 10 seconds of just instrumental, it like keeps that like continued pace, and it just sounds fantastic.
Remember when I just said that last LP verse was my favorite, and then I stopped? It was because I forgot about the LP verses on this. Because LP's verses on here are crazy, and Killer Mike's too.
Killer Mike's was what stood out to me. That shit about like, he could be another Malcolm, and then like two lines below saying like
Martin, like my wife don't want a husband more than she need a martyr.
That shit. I mean, it's one of those things where I can't understand the full weight of his lyrics as like an Indian American person, but it's incredible like how simple. The thing I love about Killer Mike, he's so blunt, right? He's not.
That is what I love about Killer Mike, and that's why I think that him and LP really complement each other, because Killer Mike is very blunt and straightforward, and that's why I do think that when you're listening to it for the first time, for the first few times, that's why I think he sounds like he shines more, because he's more blunt, he's more direct, he's more aggressive, he's more in your face. While LP, you actually have to like kind of like think about his shit and actually like listen. But when you actually like look at them, like they are both very even.
Yeah. You know, that's why I said earlier, I made the comparison with Kendrick, right, about storytelling, where, like, they have completely different ways of doing it, but I don't think either of them are necessarily wrong. Like, you know, you don't have to take a poetic approach. If what you're saying carries weight in how you're saying it, it's perfectly fine. The ending, the outro.
A$AP Ferg's not on the song. I don't believe it.
Alex said it was A$AP Rocky at first. I was like, no.
I said that's what Wikipedia said.
Genius was right.
Was right. But... First off, Killer Mike's last verse is fucking crazy.
It is.
LP's delivery. This is the song I was thinking of when LP's in his pocket. Like, he's flowing on this beat. The sax on this song goes fucking hard.
There's a fucking violin in this bitch?
Yeah, this song
I think it's a violin. Good. It's that or like fucking... It's another string instrument. This is the most apocalyptic sound. That fucking... You know that old-time radio... at the end where it sounds like it's coming out of a radio, like it's muffled.
Well, because it's just be like an old TV show.
I know, and then like even the name, like radiation, apocalyptic, post, nuclear fallout. This song, there's some songs on this album that I can imagine people fucking starting an uprising with, like the soundtrack to the revolution. Yeah, I saw somebody commenting, "Thank you for making a soundtrack to my protest or my revolt." This is Alex's favorite song. This is one of my favorite songs. It is such a replayable song also, which I think a lot of times the best songs aren't the most replayable.
Yeah.
And when they overlap, those are usually the greatest songs.
Yeah.
So we've come to an end. We've been talking our mouths off, our asses off. You want to give any... What was standout? What was the standout? Let's give a couple of your pros, cons, standout, and then your rating. I want to hear that. Let's wait for the rating till we can both say it.
Okay. Killer Mike and LP are two of the greatest rappers of all time.
Killer Mike and LP. Okay, go ahead.
They're two of the greatest rappers of all time.
Ooh.
This album cements Run the Jewels to me as the best rap group of all time, and it's very hard to debate that. Like, okay, if we're going off discography alone, it is hard to debate that they have the best discography of any rap group. They have been they've been probably the most consistent. They're the only rappers that I know whose past 3 albums have been literally like top tier rap albums. Like, this is one of the albums that I could see like Run the Jewels, like the pinnacle of rap music to me.
And at
like
the
up there with like a Good Kid, Mad City, My Baby Was Artist Fantasy, Run the Jewels 2. Those are my 3 favorite rap albums of all time.
And what sucks as fans, huge fans, is that they will never get the attention they deserve.
Yeah.
I think as a rap duo, there's nobody better than them, right? Like, and the thing with a rap duo is sometimes you don't build off of each other.
Yeah, I think the only people that you can argue with Run the Jewels at this point is Outkast.
Oh, I think they might be better. I mean, great. I guess if you look at greatest, like their impact on hip hop,
and they have that because of influence. But I think if you compare the 2 discographies at this point, I think that Run the Jewels has surpassed them, in my opinion.
And to even be in the same conversation as Outkast is kind of it's like when you get compared to the greats. Like you can rank them anywhere you want in those top 5, but the fact that they're there is what is kind of the main point. They made it to the upper echelon, which is we both agree they're Killer Mike is, I think, your top 10, one of your top 10.
Killer Mike's my third favorite artist of all time.
Yeah, and his solo discography is great, but Run the Jewels, it's very rare when working with someone makes you even better.
I think that we both talked about this. When we both listened to Run the Jewels 2 changed my perception of rap music. I think that was what put the final nail in the coffin of more lyrical rap, of me really realizing. I think it was that, along with people like Kendrick and Kanye, who helped me helped my music taste evolve into more than just lyrics and care more about artistry. And when there are lyrics, they have to be executed in a good way, with good beats, with good delivery, like what Run the Jewels does.
I think Run the Jewels actually opened up the notion that small to medium rappers can make good music. Because I had this very, closed-minded view before I heard Run the Jewels 1, where I was like, oh, I was just like, it's a small, I've never heard of this fucking group. They're going to be trash. And until I think my freshman year, so 3-4 years ago, I didn't listen to many smaller artists. And because of Run the Jewels, I have listened to, the Vinces of the world, the Isaiah Rashads of the world, the smaller people who, make... Being small doesn't mean you don't make quality music. It's just you don't have the same outreach. This Run the Jewels is so accessible, which is why I don't understand why they're not larger. I know they're not airwave friendly. They're not. You're never gonna hear them on the radio. But I would expect them to have a slightly larger, in the 60. The fact that they would sell 60K on average, versus 35, 25. But hey, you know what? It'll be our little secret.
And everyone else who.
What's your standout on this album?
Artist or song?
Anything. Standout can be
top 3 songs. Fuel for the Firing Squad, Just, and Walking in the Snow.
Same thing, different order.
Those are my 3 favorite songs. I do think that overall, based off my first 20 listens, Killer Mike does I think that this is Killer Mike's best Run the Jewels album, and that's not I think he outshines the LP, but that's not even me saying that LP got outshined by a lot, or that LP is a bad or average rapper. I think that they're both amazing rappers. They're 2 of the best rappers of all time. I think that Killer Mike really fucking stepped it up after Run the Jewels 3, which I absolutely love that album. It's my top 10 of all time. But I thought that Killer Mike and LP were very even on that album. But I thought that Killer Mike really stepped his shit up, and I don't know what caused it, but he's a monster.
They had a lot of time to make this album.
Yeah.
I disagree. For me, LP is the standout. I thought RTJ4 was not his best. I thought he was good on it, but not great. I think Run the Jewels 2 for me was my favorite. 1 and 2, I think he was. 1, he was awesome. 2, he was awesome. 3, I thought it was okay. I thought that was more of Mike's album. This one, the production, best production for me by far. Of any of the albums. I don't know if he's the only one who touches the beats, but he is amazing.
He has a few co-producers, but he makes
because with LP it's like with Kanye, you get 2 things. You don't just get a rapper, you don't just get a producer, you get both. So for me, I think he stepped up so big in both of those. Some of his best delivery, some of his best flow, some of his best lyrics, some of his best moments have been on here. Killer Mike is a better rapper. I agree with you. I just think LP was my surprise, and fucking Pharrell. And no, not Killer Boo, Gangsta Boo. That was a surprise.
Got the name right.
What would you give this album?
This was the hardest part, trying to figure out what I was going to give this album. Because I was sitting down thinking, does an album, is it on this level? And after, I legit probably listened to this, I'm being dead, I probably listened to this album in the past, how many days has it been out?
2 days. 2 full days.
4 days. Today's Saturday.
I thought it came out on Thursday.
It came out on Wednesday.
Fuck me.
It's been out for 4 days. I think I've legit listened to it about 15 times.
Yeah.
So, I'm going all in, Kush. Run the Jewels 4 is 10. Boom, 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 boom. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't want to go into decimal points with this one. I would give it a 10. I mean, I think it's their best project. I realize this one thing. I have a tendency, when I like an album a lot, I'll give it a 10. I've been down with 2 albums recently. But first of all, those are in different spheres. So I'm just going to give it a 10. I'm not going to put it greatest album, second greatest album of all time. It's a 10.
Just put it in perspective. How many 10 out of 10 albums do you think there are?
For me, probably 10 in the past 10 years. Probably, maybe 15 in the past 10 years.
I'll say I've listened to hundreds of albums. I think that there were...
flex.
I've only rated a total of 4 albums a 10 out of 10. So that's crazy that this is one of those 4.
And when we say, you heard, we said we didn't like 2 songs. When we say we don't like a Run the Jewels song, that means it's a 7. It's like a Game of Thrones fucking episode. When we say when you say a Game of Thrones episode was bad, you ain't talking about a 1 or a 2.
Like The Ground Below, which are the first song, I'll still rate like an 8 out of 10.
And the thing is, sometimes the cumulative score, like we talked about with the Weeknd album, isn't what gives the album its score. I don't just take the averages of all the songs. With this, it's part of an album is how well the songs fit together, how well it works as an album, not just as an individual song. It fits great. This is definitely by far their best. I think this is definitely better than Run the Jewels 2. Not by a long shot. I think it's definitely better.
That's what I was mainly thinking of, because Run the Jewels 2 is another 10 out of 10 album to me. The Good Kid, Mad City, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and Run the Jewels 2 were my 3 only 10s ever. And I was really thinking, is Run the Jewels 2 better than this one? And then when I realized when I was thinking that, I was mainly just thinking of Jeopardy, Oh My God, Don't Cry, and Blockbuster Night. And I think other than those 3 songs, which I think might be better than most songs on this album, I think that a lot of the Run the Jewels 4 songs surpass the Run the Jewels 2 songs.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I like better right now, but like...
I mean, you'll see on our year-end list what we give it.
Expect to see this at number 1 on our year-end and mid-year list, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's this and the Weeknd.
Yeah.
Both. I mean, it's been a pretty good year in music.
Yeah.
It's not been bad, given everything that's happened. A lot of people delaying their albums, delaying their music. It's been a solid year, I'd say.
Yeah.
With
we got some fire shit we got some fire shit coming out.
So, guys, we hope you're staying safe. Mm-hmm. If you're going to protest, stay safe. Donate to causes that, we've talked about. Black Lives Matter.
Donate to our YouTube channel by subscribing.
Yeah, subscribe. If you guys hated our video, let us know. We have pretty thick skin.
If you've watched all 56 minutes of it.
If you do.
It's long.
It is. We'll probably edit it down. But,
yeah.
Guys, let us know what you want. If you want us to, listen to another album. Mm-hmm. If you don't want track-by-track breakdowns, let us know. If you love this album, let us know also. Because we want to see how many people like us there are. If you hate this album, fuck off. I don't know why someone would hate this. But, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, boys.
Bye-bye.
And girls.